All right, now I'm going to show you my preferred method on how to multiply polynomials together. Now, the FOIL method works great when you are just talking about binomials, but it falls apart when you start talking about trinomials and larger. So I want to show you the box method because it's more robust and it helps a lot more when you're talking about polynomials that are greater than just binomials. But we'll start it on this lovely binomial example. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw a box because it's the box method. So our box is going to have 4 squares in it. Each square is going to represent something that we're multiplying together. So on the side, I'm going to have n squared and 4. On the top, I'm going to have what we are multiplying n squared plus 4 by. So I'm going to have n and a negative 1. It's a negative 1 because this is subtraction. So when you have subtraction, you have to make sure that number is negative. So now we just multiply based on the row and column we're in. So row 1, column 1, I'm going to multiply n squared times n and get n to the third. Now we have n squared times negative 1, and that's going to give us negative n squared. Mystery of the disappearing variables. All right, now we have n times 4, and we are going to have 4n. And finally, negative 1 times 4 is negative 4. Oh, there. So we don't have any like terms. We have a cubed, we have a squared, we have an n, we have a negative 4, so we just write it all out like this. Start with the highest power, end with the lowest power. So we'll write them in order. N to the third minus n squared plus 4n minus 4. No worrying about combining like terms on this one. It'll be different with the next one. So let's look at number 2. Again, we're going to draw a box. I'm going to draw a bigger box this time because we have more variables. However, it's still only going to have 4 squares in it. Now, down this side, I am going to have my first binomial, which is 3pq and 5. On the top, I have 6pq and negative 11, because that's a minus. So 6pq times 3pq is going to be 18p squared q squared. Negative 11 times 3pq is negative 33pq. 6pq times 5 is 30pq. 5 times negative 11 is negative 55. Now this time we have like terms we can combine, and we can see them right away in the boxes. So here's one. We have a pq and we have a pq. So before we even write our equation, we can figure out what that is. That's going to be a negative 3pq. So we'll go ahead and write this out using the highest powers first. 18p squared q squared minus, combining these two together, 3pq minus 55. So again, the reason I really like this box method is I will never forget a step, because you have to fill in the entire box before you can say you're done with the problem. Now let's see how this really shines with a binomial times a trinomial. I'm going to move my box over here this time, just because, oh, that's probably going to be a bit too big. Try that again. We're going to need a wider box because we're multiplying by a trinomial. Maybe I got to work on drawing my boxes better. Let's see. Let's try this. That's better. Now this time, we're going to have 6 squares. Because we are going to have b plus 3 on the side, and on the top we're going to have 2b squared, a negative 5b, and an 8. So let's multiply this out, fill out this entire box, and then we can combine like terms. 2b squared times b is 2b cubed. Negative 5 times b, negative 5b times b is negative 5b squared. 8 times b is 8b. 2b squared times 3 is 6b squared. Negative 5b times 3 is negative 15b. 3 times 8 is 24. And we can see, again, in the boxes, we have like terms. We have, let me highlight these for you. We have this guy and this guy. They both have b squareds on them. And then we also have this guy and this guy that have b's. So we can go ahead and combine those like terms before we even write the equation. So negative 5b squared plus 6b squared is going to be a b squared. Negative 15b and 8b is going to be 7b, or negative 7b. So let's go ahead and write this out, starting with the highest power, 2b cubed plus b squared minus 7b plus 24. So to me, that's a lot easier than using the FOIL method, because you would have to keep track of so much stuff and make sure you didn't forget to multiply anything. With the box, you can be sure that you're never going to forget to multiply something, or you will have an empty square in your box. So note that you can never have an empty square in your box. That's not allowed. Otherwise, you will get the wrong answer. So I highly encourage you, do problem 29 and use the box method. Even if you feel fairly confident using the FOIL method, just give it a shot, especially with problems 5 and 6, because I think it'll really make things a lot easier for you.